When Steven Spielberg introduced the world to a relentless ocean predator in Jaws, he tapped into something primal, the fear of what we cannot see beneath the surface. But far from cinematic fiction, in the remote wilderness of Alaska, there exists a body of water where that fear may have a far more tangible origin. Lake Iliamna is not just vast, it is deeply mysterious, a place where modern science, eyewitness testimony, and ancient tradition intersect in ways that continue to puzzle even the most experienced researchers. For generations, stories have circulated about something enormous living in its depths, something powerful, elusive, and possibly intelligent. Spanning over 1,000 square miles, Lake Iliamna dwarfs most freshwater bodies in North America. Its immense size creates the illusion of an inland sea, complete with unpredictable weather, powerful currents, and waves that can rival those of coastal waters. Yet it is not just the surface that inspires unease. Beneath lies a hidden world that remains largely unexplored. The lake's depth reaches nearly 1,000 feet in certain areas, and in some locations, attempts to measure the bottom have reportedly failed, as if the lake conceals trenches or underwater formations that defy simple mapping. The water itself remains near freezing throughout the year, creating a stable but unforgiving environment where only highly adapted organisms can survive. Scientists describe the lake as having a layered structure. The upper zone is relatively active, filled with migrating salmon, feeding seals, and occasional visiting whales. Below that lies a transition region where temperature and density shift dramatically, the thermocline, distorting visibility and creating natural concealment. Beneath this boundary exists a deep, dark zone where sunlight never penetrates. It is a realm of crushing pressure, near constant cold, and silence broken only by faint vibrations. If something large were to inhabit this region, it could remain hidden indefinitely. What makes Lake Iliamna especially intriguing is its connection to the ocean via the Kvichak River. This link allows marine animals to enter the freshwater system, and documented cases of beluga whales and harbor seals living within the lake confirm that such transitions are possible. This fact alone expands the range of plausible explanations for the reported sightings. If known marine species can adapt to the lake, it raises the possibility that unknown or rarely observed species might have done the same, evolving in isolation over thousands of years. Eyewitness accounts have remained remarkably consistent across decades. Pilots frequently report seeing elongated shadows moving beneath the surface, often described as too large and too fast to match any known fish. These shapes are sometimes visible only for seconds before vanishing into deeper water, leaving behind nothing but ripples. One experienced pilot claimed to have recorded similar footage multiple times, capturing dark, streamlined forms moving with a distinctive side-to-side motion. Unlike whales, which move their tails vertically, these shapes appeared to swim more like fish or sharks, suggesting a different biological structure. Long before these modern observations, indigenous communities had already developed a deep understanding of the lake and its dangers. Stories passed down through generations speak of powerful aquatic beings capable of overturning boats and dragging prey into the depths. Among the Tlingit, the figure of Gana-Cadet is both feared and respected, a creature associated with the water's hidden power. Other groups describe similar entities, emphasizing their speed, strength, and tendency to hunt in groups. These traditions are not merely mythological, they function as practical warnings, guiding behavior on the lake and helping communities avoid dangerous situations. In the mid-20th century, these stories began to intersect with modern investigation. A notable early account involved a bush pilot and his passenger observing multiple large creatures swimming in formation beneath their aircraft. The witnesses described dozens of massive, cylindrical bodies moving in perfect synchronization, each exceeding 15 feet in length. The creatures did not surface for air, nor did they behave like any known species. Their coordinated movements suggested a level of organization that is rarely observed in large aquatic animals. Subsequent reports added to the mystery. Other pilots and observers described similar sightings, large, metallic-colored forms gliding beneath the surface, sometimes appearing in groups and then disappearing suddenly. These consistent descriptions fueled further investigation, leading to expeditions equipped with sonar, underwater cameras, and reinforced fishing gear. While these efforts did not produce definitive visual evidence, they did yield intriguing anomalies. Sonar readings frequently detected large moving objects at significant depths, only for them to vanish when approached. Heavy-duty hooks and cables were reportedly damaged or bent, suggesting encounters with something capable of exerting extraordinary force. As technology advanced, so did the methods used to study the lake. Environmental DNA sampling revealed genetic traces that could not be matched to known species, hinting at the possibility of undocumented organisms. Acoustic monitoring detected unusual low-frequency sounds that did not correspond to known animal calls or geological activity. Thermal imaging occasionally picked up heat signatures in areas where cold-blooded creatures should not produce detectable warmth. While none of these findings provide conclusive proof of a large unknown predator, they collectively suggest that the lake's ecosystem is more complex than previously understood. One of the most debated scientific explanations involves large sturgeon, a species known to inhabit northern waters and capable of reaching impressive sizes. Another theory points to Pacific sleeper sharks, deep water predators adapted to cold environments. These sharks possess unique biological traits that could, in theory, allow them to survive in freshwater conditions. However, both explanations face challenges. Witnesses consistently describe behavior, such as speed, coordination, and group hunting, that does not align with known patterns for these species. Adding to the sense of mystery are reports of unexplained disappearances on the lake. Over the decades, several individuals have vanished under unclear circumstances, often leaving behind damaged boats or abandoned equipment. While official explanations typically attribute these incidents to accidents or environmental hazards, certain details, such as unusual marks on vessels or missing equipment, continue to raise questions. Despite decades of research, no single theory has fully explained all aspects of the phenomenon. Instead, the evidence suggests a more complex reality. Rather than a single monster, the lake may host multiple large organisms, each contributing to the overall mystery. Alternatively, environmental factors such as light distortion, water density changes, and acoustic anomalies may amplify or alter perceptions, creating sightings that appear more extraordinary than they are. Yet even these explanations struggle to account for the consistency and longevity of the reports. Lake Iliamna remains one of the least understood freshwater systems in North America. Its combination of size, depth, isolation, and ecological complexity makes it uniquely suited to conceal large organisms, whether known or unknown. It is a place where scientific inquiry continues to push against the limits of current knowledge, and where traditional wisdom still holds relevance in understanding natural phenomena. In the end, the mystery of Lake Iliamna is not defined by a single discovery or a definitive answer. Instead, it persists as a convergence of evidence, experience, and unanswered questions. Beneath its cold, dark waters lies a world that has yet to be fully explored, a world where shadows move, signals echo, and the boundary between the known and the unknown remains uncertain. Whether the truth ultimately reveals an undiscovered species, an extreme adaptation of known life, or a combination of natural phenomena, Lake Iliamna continues to remind us that even in the modern age, there are still places on Earth that resist explanation and invite wonder.